first we'll just do the typical season preview. We'll run through, just do the MVP and Super Bowl picks, which hopefully everyone will forget about by the time we say them, and no one will remember this at the end of the year because they're probably not going to be correct.
Nope.
So let's start with MVP. Rich, if you had to make one pick, who you going with?
Well, I want the dart throw, man. I want to go with a guy that has long odds. I want the huge payoff. I want to go Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
We've talked on this podcast for a couple weeks now. All of us, you, Warren, and I, at varying points, how we are high on the Eagles. I believe that their schedule really sets them up to potentially get as a ceiling outcome. Now, they could lose some of these games, but they could be 8-1. I could see a scenario where they're 8-1, right? At some point, to start the season, their first 10 games are really light. They all look winnable. So if you're going to have a record wise, because you have to have that good record if you're going to win MVP no matter what. Mm-hmm. And then also statistically, this could be a scenario where I think Josh Allen 2020 or Lamar Jackson in 2019, where this easy schedule could kind of line up if they're aggressive and all this talent comes together to make the statistics for Jalen Hurts kind of pop. We know the rushing is going to be there. They add AJ Brown. If the efficiency's here, that's what's been lacking these last 2 years, this could all set up to kind of be that kind of your Hail Mary kind of guy that kind of comes out of nowhere and wins this thing.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think I'm going to lean toward the Eagles coming out of the NFC, and if that happens, obviously Hurts is going to be there as a guy that is going to get a lot of attention for that award. And I think you can make a similar case probably for Trey Lance if you're high on him, right? It's kind of the same type of thing. San Francisco is really good. That offense is going to run through him. So I'll just go with Justin Herbert because why not, right? Last year he was already tied. He tied for second in EPA per dropback, and we saw the amount of kind of yardage and production that was kind of the left on the bone, right? There was still some meat left on the bone in that offense with some of the shorter passes on early downs. We're kind of hoping they maybe wish casting a little bit that they're going to open that up a little more on early downs, and then we saw he's a robot on third downs, right? They were able to sustain what they did because he just makes these ridiculous throws and is so accurate, so smart. He doesn't really put the ball in danger. He had a lot of interceptions last year, but that was kind of, because they were trailing, they weren't bad interceptions in a way. So I'm kind of looking for the Chargers to open things up on offense a little earlier. And I think that's only going to help Justin Herbert and have him put up just a monster year.
Well, I know who you're picking for the Super Bowl. You've been on it all summer, so you can go ahead and just roll it. Use that as a segue into it.
So I think I'm going to hedge a little bit with an official pick because I have said the Chargers, but I don't know if I want to go MVP and Super Bowl pick for the same thing. So I think I'm going to pick the Chiefs, and it's the AFC West hedge, right? I think I would pick the Chargers to win that division. I think they're probably going to have an easier route, I think, to that. I think the Chiefs might need to, figure some things out in the beginning of the season. But then you get to the postseason and, you still have Patrick Mahomes. And I think by the time that rolls around, I think we're getting to the Chiefs just aren't really talked about at all here. The Chargers are the new thing. The Bills are the obvious favorite. And they're the very chalky pick. But the Chiefs are still good. So I'm going to go with Chiefs as the Super Bowl pick. But still, very high on the Chargers for obvious reasons and all of the things I have said throughout the entire summer.
Yeah, I think you and I have been on the same page that the Chiefs have kind of been a little under the radar, it feels almost in a sense, this offseason. And we saw a lot of people in big media, their Super Bowl picks. A lot of people are just picking the Bills. I'm not going to pick Bills. I want to go NFC route. I'm going to go with the Packers. Every time I keep coming back to the Packers roster, I'm just I just really like it. And I look at this thing that you've got kind of like a red ass Aaron Rodgers situation still. You know, it could be a situation where he's like, this is his final, could be his final year. We don't know. Every year could be his final year from this point out. Every time they talk to him, he is adamant he's not going to do the Brady thing, but we'll see what happens. But I mean, now that David Bakhtiari looks like he's going to be able to play to start the season, I mean, this team is like, they've low key like started to produce like offensive linemen with these draft picks.
It's insane. Every like 4th and 5th round pick is just like a hit.
Yeah, you know, we'll see if Zach Tom ends up hitting too, but like their offensive line is strong. They've got the 2 backs that we really like. The defense on every level looks just really good. The front 7 looks really strong. They add Quay Walker. The secondary looks amazing, getting Jelly Alexander back. So like I just have a hard time getting away from this roster. If they can just get anything out of this receiving core, which I know doesn't have a star, but like it could definitely be a sum of parts receiving core. There's a lot here still to work with. I mean, Randall Cobb's an experienced slot player. You still have Lazard, Watkins, Christian Watson, and Romeo Doubs. Like if they get some production out of here as a group, there's still a lot here that I think Aaron Rodgers can work with and be successful with. So I'll go with the Packers. That one's not as long shotty, but I kind of like the little more safety in the NFC side.